Alright, hey everyone, I'm Silent Black Cat, and this is an analysis of MSC versus Zavada from the Captain tournament that happened a while ago in Japan. Some good content. Alright, MSC with the early wine. I don't know what Rai Rai is doing going over here. If I'm him, since MSC has wine, I'm just trying to like GTFO, get out, because you aren't gonna accomplish much by trying to fight him right now. So right here, Dai decides to pop this wine, which I think is a pretty good call. My concern is that while MST tried to like mess with him by pushing here or pulling, I don't remember. Another thing he could have done is climbing up, pulling this, and then climbing up here. And that would have pretty much wasted Dai's wine, because he would need to spend most of the duration trying to figure out how to climb this. But instead, this thing happens. They're both in line. MST does climb there. And Dai is like a bit late here, so he doesn't have a whole lot of options. Honestly, the timing is a bit tight. I would have liked to see MST try to go for a dropkick here, maybe? Now I think about it, I don't know if MST's wine wore out by now. So it's possible that he could go for the dropkick, but then he couldn't because Dai still had wine. So maybe going up here was the better move. MSC is doing something right now. I don't know what. And he lets Dai get up for free. Maybe it was like a skull thing, just like being careful with inputs, but I don't think that was very good. So he's right here, and Dai pushes this. So what I would do if I was MST is like go over here, try to deactivate the spike block and then pull this. And hopefully if I was Rai, I think the optimal way to climb this is to go down and then push instead of creating a staircase right here. So that would be the way that MST would cover that. In the case right here, yeah, I don't know what MST's doing. He had a lot of time to pull this to block this staircase up. But instead, I think MSC tried to, but he was just one block to the right. So Dai gets up. Wine wears out. He gets the push. Interesting. So Dai opts to sidle over for the wine. What I think would have been better is, as soon as you see MST go for the pull, to sidle up here or here, and then try to pull the block to get the staircase up. Because you should have the priority on that, I believe. If I was MST, in this case, going for this pull and then the staircase works out, but I think that's a bit risky. So maybe what I would have done is like go down here, push this, and then go up here, push, or something. Or maybe push this and then walk up here to like do whatever. Just to try to like increase your safety. And then when Rai goes for the pin, not the pin, why did I say that? When Dada goes for the line, it's kind of too late for MST at this point to try to like defend him. But one possibility would be to pull this block again to defend against Dai from going out here and then walking up for free. But then if you're too slow, Dai could push this and get you in like a pin or kill you. So I don't know. So anyways, FC gets that pull. That's good. Early, I don't know. What I definitely would have liked to see is MST pulling this block, because that makes it a lot harder for Dai, because he, in order to get up, he would need to push this, but then there isn't the block right here, so that wouldn't be anchored, so this block would fall. So long story short, it would take a long time for Dai to get up if MST had pulled that. And that also gives him a little better of a way up, like right here. If I was Dai, I mean, like, since MST doesn't do that, it works out for him, but if there was like a block right here, which means that this way wasn't working, I would have like gone right here to try to do something, maybe. MST pulls that. Honestly, I think this solve is kind of slow, especially because when MST pulled from the middle, there isn't a block right here for him to easily pull to defend. Maybe a better solve would be to, again, either push this block or also to pull this block to the right. I mean, at the very least, I think pulling the block on the left would have been better, because there's a block right here you can pull, and then you can start doing some like subtle defense. So they both have line right now. MST does get that drop kick. That's good. Because MST has wine. Yeah, so I would have created this staircase on the right instead of the left, because there isn't really an easy way for Dai to get over to these blocks. And so I guess he could like pull that, but like other than that, that would have made the solve much harder for Dai. And it also means that you aren't at risk of getting hit like what happened here. I don't know what Dai was going for by settling. Maybe he was trying to like walk up and pull or something, and he missed his input. But that was not the play, in my opinion. If I was him right now, this is like hard to defend because MST can go up here or here. So maybe what I would have done is to pull this block and then stay sidling here and play some sidle defense. And then when MSC tries to like threaten a collapse or something, to go over here and then walk up. So instead this happens, MST gains control, gets wine. This isn't a bad pull for defense, because there isn't like a whole lot going on this left side, but I think the pull here may have been better. So let's see. I can already like play out this situation in my head. So Dai is probably going to try to push this, and then MSD gets the staircase up, pulls that out, so Dai can't go. For Dai, probably the best idea is to push this block and then push this block or something. Or the other idea is to, once you get up here, settle around to here. Maybe settling would have been faster. Well, in this case, he gets an item. So that happened to work out. I think the fastest thing to do here is, once you get up here, to go here and pull this, because MSC is pulling this out. For MST, now I think about it, I don't know if he's gonna do this. I guess his wine just ran out, but what I was gonna suggest is to go over to one of these sides and then pull these to climb up. But pulling this in the middle for a defense is also a good idea. Let's see. I don't really like what Dai is doing right here, because MSC is like pretty much done. So he needs to figure out how to get onto the top level as fast as possible. And as I said, I think the best way to do that was to pull the block that's over here. Let me rewatch that. I think MSC had some pretty good defense. Yeah, so honestly, this could have played out differently. So Dai happened to pull this block, which prevented him from getting up, which let MSC like do the staircase. But if Dai kept this block here, then he could have walked up, and then he probably had time to push this block to the right as MSC was sidling, which means that I would have gotten the win, basically. So this was a pretty tricky situation, but MSC ended up getting the W. Also, I don't know if Dai still had wine. This is a pretty weird one, because MSC decided to pull this to staircase up, and then Dai decided to use wine. I think Dai could have gone away with a push, maybe, to kill. And then, I guess in MST's case, it didn't really matter, but he could have also maybe gotten a dropkick here, if Dai ran out, which I'm not sure if he did. Alright, 2 wines as we do. MSC runs over, that's good. Ooh. Yeah, you do not want to come up here. Yeah, this is like the last place you want to go. If I were him, I don't really know. Maybe one option would be to like go down to this level and then maybe like push one of these blocks or something. Because Dino, or not Reno, MSC needs to staircase in order to climb up to this level. And if Dada is down here, then he can maybe try to push some blocks here to try to stop that. And like at the very least, if he wants to climb up, then he should probably do it like here or something. Because this square and this square are no-goes. So he does. MSC wins that one. Let's see what it is. Oh, Scanner? Okay. Maybe? No? Oh no, what happened there? Ooh, watch that again. So, Dada gets that pillow hit. I think the best situation, and I covered this in Dino versus Jehon, I think, but best thing to do in this situation is to walk here and then pull that. Because it means that if MST stays on this block, then he'll get hit. But if MST like goes down and then tries to push this for a pin, or would it be a pin? For some sort of hit, then Dada would not fall down. I mean, I think in any case, just a drop kick here would have been a good idea too. I can pause. Because MSC, maybe he saw Dada running away, but he was able to get up for free, basically. Yeah, I don't know. Dada had like all the time in the world to drop kick there, basically. I don't know if I like that. So like MSC was here, Dada was like walking here. The issue with this is because these blocks are connected, or like close together. If MST tries to come down to attack, then Dada could have gone up to like do something. Ideally, you would want to have a block right here, and then you could stand on the other square, and they couldn't do anything. But since there isn't one, it's pretty hard to defend right there. Instead, Dada walks down for some reason, maybe just avoiding like the dropkick chain right there. But yeah, I think Dada kind of like froze for a second when he got like right here. I think pulling this block would have been the best in case MST decides to follow right here. And then you also have a way up. Yeah. But instead, MSC gets that. Pulls the block, that's good. Yeah. So, since there's a block right here now, and MST is the other square, Dada, he can't climb up on these two squares. So, maybe what I would have done is to like go around this way, because I think if you try to like walk past MSC on top of this block, then you'll get drop kicked. So maybe you could try to like go here and then bait him to coming down and then push. I don't know. In any case,
I
oh
can
yeah,
answer this.
so that does that, and then he does. Let's see. Similar thing, except this time MSC pulls out this block early. So if that I would have stayed, then he should have had time to walk up here and get the advantage. Instead, he's like down here for some reason, and then MSC decides to leave, but right here, this is like the same situation as last game, except the block is on this time, this side. So climbs up. In this case, it was okay, but he should like be wary about pulling the block right here, because you can't sidle left or right afterwards. So unless you were trying to like mess with Rai over here or something, then you can't really climb up if you do that. At least until Lois is there. So Dada gets one. MFC is in a good enough lead that he can just kind of keep climbing, I think. Maybe I spoke too soon. Ooh. That was a really good push. Yeah, because Dada is still in wine right now, so even if... So there's like layers to this. So not only are there lasers here and here, so if MSC tries to go there, he'll die. But if Dada tries to come up here, then he would normally be able to be drop kicked, but he won't because he has wine. So MSC knew some of that probably. And so the best choice was to not try to go for this dropkick chain and block his way up instead. Which was very good, because it also let MSC drink the wine in peace. Ooh. That was not good. I'm kind of surprised. Since there's no wire reversals in this game, like in Classic, what I could have done is go up here, and then if they dropkick, I like end up here and they end up here, or however it works. But here, especially since MSC has wine, I believe climbing up here is like pretty much a death sentence. And I think if MSC was more aware, he could have capitalized and got this dropkick chain. So if I would have, or if I was right, I would have done some like climb cancels right here. And then if MSC decided to go for this pull, then I would have gone up and then pulled that block or something. If I was MST right now, I mean, I think this is pretty obvious, but as soon as he fully climbs up, just do that kind of thing. But instead he pushes that. Maybe that was an execution error or something. Because, like, the push could work. because it drops that, so we can like climb up that way, but it's also kind of slow, and like Rara is right there, so I'm gonna say that was probably an input error. What is going on right here? So MSC drops, Dada gets on top, Dada gets the walk. I don't think Dada is in line at this point. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So Dada can't go down to dropkick MSC. So I would have just climbed up. Because there's really not a whole lot you can do. Wait. Oh, did Dada saddle? He did. Interesting. I did not consider that. So that saddle allowed MSC to walk over. If MSC like reacted fast enough, he could have like got this walk, or maybe like even dropkicked that eye right there. I don't know. Let's see what happens. If I'm MSC, I pull this block. I'm pretty sure. If Rada is still settling on it. Oh, but Rada gets the sidle. So MSC's wine is close to wearing out. I think it's hard to see the item, but I think that eye has wine right now. So like right here, you probably have enough time if you're a that eye to drink this. And then you can probably win whatever fight happens, because MSC's wine is going to run out faster. Instead, MSC goes down, pillow hits. I'm not really sure what he would do in this situation, but I feel like pulling that isn't it, because, for example, if that I stayed sidling to the left here and MSC pulled that, then that I would have had enough time to get on top and then either drink that wine or try to go for a dropkick if MSC comes up here or here. Instead, MSC gets up first. Wine again. Ooh, no saddle. Yeah. Whenever it's like a multi-story drop, you need to link a sidle, I think. So like right there, if that makes sense, when MSC is like settling down in order to hit him. You need to link those, I guess. So that's about it, I think. Thanks y'all for watching. Hope this was helpful and not super helpful. I will catch y'all later.